Hello, YouTube. It's been a hot minute. Here I am, 4 months into my YouTube career and already apologizing for not uploading regularly, so that's great. So, I come to you today with the news that bubble hems are back. And I'm not really mad about it, although I'm still a little bit scarred by the memory of my 8th grade graduation dress. I feel like we all wore that at some point or another. Anyway, despite that, I'm feeling really excited about dressing for the holiday season. And today I'm working on a piece for my New Year's Eve outfit. So the design is actually inspired by a dress that I made 2 years ago for New Year's Eve. Long story short, it was a huge hit. People loved it, and it was even used to style a photo shoot not long after that, alongside some other things that I designed. That was a really fun moment. However, I put this thing together in 5 hours. So if you look inside, it's a complete mess. I also don't have the pattern anymore, so I really have my work cut out for me, literally and figuratively. Okay, so overall, there are 3 main things I need to do. Improve the design and fit, and then I have to make the final top. All right, so let's get into it. Yep, that's me, the girl who can't do math. You're probably wondering why I'm interrupting myself. In case you didn't notice, that was only 2 things, but there actually is a 3rd thing, which is that I'm releasing this pattern on Etsy so that you can make it too. This is my first ever pattern release and hopefully one of many more to come. You can find the link in the description down below. Okay, back to the video. Okay, here's what we're working with. I remember drafting a basic shape for the front and the back yoke, and the sleeves and gathered panels are really just glorified rectangles, but the construction is where I really have room for improvement. So fun fact, this was originally a mini dress, but when I tried it on, I hated the way it looked. It just wasn't right, but I did not have time to redesign it because I had to go to my New Year's Eve party. So I really quickly just gathered up the hem and ended up stitching it down to the bust seam on the inside, which obviously made it a lot shorter and turned it into a bubble hem, and it ended up being a hit. So that trick worked in a pinch, but it's far from clean. So to make a bubble hem properly, I'm gonna need a well-designed underlayer, which will also cut down on my fabric usage a lot because originally this had 3 layers of gathered skirt, and I probably used 4 yards to make this, which it's just a top. Okay, another issue is the neckline. So this collar is really quickly slapped on. If we look inside, you can actually see the seam allowance and it's not finished. I'd actually love to make the front a double layer and sandwich that seam allowance in between the 2 layers so it's totally hidden. Okay, those are my 2 main goals with reverse engineering this pattern and doing some redesigning. So let's go look at this thing and start making the pattern. Okay, so first I'm going to take some basic measurements that will help guide my pattern making later. These are things like shoulder width, bust circumference, sleeve length, and dimensions of the yoke. The front and back are relatively simple. I used the measurements I took earlier and I just eyeball the shape of the neckline. Okay, the front and the back are done. Now I have to make 3 gathered panels, which will become the sleeves and the 2 tiers of the peplum. I did some math to figure out how big they need to be to gather up nicely. If you're ever doing this yourself and don't know how much extra fabric to gather up, I always do at least 1.5 times the width of the seam it's being gathered and sewn to. Okay, here's the more interesting piece. This is going on the inside of the peplum to anchor it and create the bubble hem. While it's still a big pattern piece, it takes up way less fabric than the original design. This is one of the key differences between this version and my original pink sample. I want the top edge to match the measurement of the bust seam, but the bottom edge here has to be bigger to accommodate hips and also just for lots of beautiful volume. So I'm using a method called slash and spread. This rectangle is the correct measurement at the top, so by hinging there and spreading out the bottom, I can get to the measurement that I need. So this piece is almost like a lining and it's not going to be gathered at all, which is a huge relief. All right, so I have most of the pattern drafted. I think I'm just gonna have a chill evening, adding some final touches and cutting everything out. I'm getting over a cold and this pattern making just kind of zapped me of my energy. So I think I'm gonna call it quits for this evening. But I'm really excited. I think the pattern is coming along really well, and tomorrow we're gonna take a look at the fabric. So I'll see you then. Ugh, okay, not so close. Maybe this is better. Hello. Okay, it's a new day. I thought I was past the worst of my cold, but I wasn't, and I feel like garbage. So this is what we have to work with today. Anyway, it is fabric time, so let's take a look at what I've got. Okay, so you may look at this and think, wow, that is so not shiny and very boring and not at all what I expected for such a fun top. Well, this is in fact the wrong side of the fabric. Oh yeah, look at this. Look at this fabric. This is like liquid metal. I mean, come on. I really hope that this is showing up on camera because, oh my God, it is so gorgeous and lustrous. So I think this fabric is just perfect. I mean, imagine all the gathers and the bubble hem when this is all put together. It's like liquid metal. I am so excited. Okay, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I'm totally winging the construction. So I'm not gonna make a mock-up. I kind of feel like that honors the memory of the original top, which I just made on the fly in like 5 hours. But I'm gonna take my time on this so that it turns out really nice. But yeah, I think I'm gonna get started. So I'm gonna figure out how to press this fabric and then cut everything out. Okay, so while past me cuts out the fabric, I wanna talk a little bit more about the design. I just wanted something fun and sparkly and playful. My benchmark was if it looks like something that Pernilla Rosenkilt would wear, then I'm on the right track. The tight collar really completes it, and the kind of cropped length gives it lots of movement. I'm also happy to say that it's super comfortable. Okay, I know that some of us are probably feeling apprehensive and wary of bubble hems. That is totally fair. For me, I feel like it's been long enough that I'm willing to give them a chance. Look at how designers like Cecily Bonson and Simone Roca are doing it. The shapes are balanced with big sleeves. I also came across this stunning top by Harris Tapper, which is a great less committed option. It's so chic. Also, styling matters a lot, and so far I've not seen any short sleeve shrugs or Disney Channel-esque layering over jeans. So just proceed with care and go have fun. Alright, it looks like I'm finally getting around to sewing. I also fused some interfacing to the front kind of bib layer and the ties because the whole design is basically anchored at those points, so it's good to have a little bit of extra structure there. Lastly, I want this to be easy to wear and get into, so I left a really big opening in the back, which will shut with a hook and eye closure. And the sleeves are elasticated, so you don't have to fiddle with buttons, and you can wear them as short or as long as you want. This is great because I actually love to push the sleeves up and then I get a really nice bubbly sleeve too. Oh my God, I just realized that I don't have to hem this because it's got a bubble hem. This might be my new favorite design feature. Sorry in advance. Hello? I need the lights. I need the lights. That's a little better. So some time has passed. We are a couple days away from Christmas, and I decorated to the best of my ability. Yep. It's a palm tree. There are Christmas lights. Therefore, Christmas tree. Don't come for me. Last year, those were on the cat tree, so I think this is a step in the right direction. Anyway, I have a completed top here. It's currently inside out and I need to press it, but the fabric was such a good choice. It's just so liquidy and shimmery and glittery, and it's gonna be perfect for New Year's Eve. So I think it's time to take some pictures and do the final reveal. So let's go do that. Okay, I better do this really fast. Thank you for joining me. Happy holidays. I hope you enjoyed this. Go buy this pattern. It is on Etsy right now. Link is down below. And I wish you a glittery, sparkly, fabulous holidays. And rest of... and rest of 2024. Okay. Thank you. Like this, subscribe. Bye.